How good is pizza? It is a simple thing. It is flour, sugar, a bit of salt, and yeast, and oil, and that's it. What I like to use is one of these buckets. Now,
where'd you get the bucket from, Sean?
Getting to that. So, if you go to a lot of bakeries, out of dough, I think it's called, in Manny's Market, it's where I bought these. $2 a bucket, $1 a bucket, something, $2
Cheap.
a bucket, cheap. Give them a clean out. They've just been used for food, nothing else. Because you can make your dough in them, you can do everything in them, you can let your dough rise, and we'll get to talking about rising dough in a minute. And you've got a lid that it's on, it's secure. And then you can just leave that to rise. Right, so back to yeast. So what is yeast? Yeast is a plant. So in here it's currently in a dried stage. It hasn't kicked off yet, but with a bit of warm water, warm, not hot, because it's a delicate plant. You don't water your veggies with boiling water, so just nicely warm. A bit of sugar just to give a bit of energy, and we'll watch it kick off. But for today we're going to look for 1 cup of water, like that. We also put in half a tablespoon of sugar. So once that's in there, we'll give that a nice mix up, like we're mixing a cup of tea. So the next thing we're going to do is put in 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. So we go there, 1, 2 1/4. Give that just a ever so gentle mix around like that, because we want that yeast in the water. We'll put that on top, and we'll give that, let's give that 10 minutes. Look at that, everything's gone foamy.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you can smell that? Smells yeasty?
Yeah.
All right, we've got 3 cups of flour in here. So that goes in, nice and gently, like that. It'll be washed. We have 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt. And we're going to have olive oil's best, but whatever oil we've got some rice bran oil here, but whatever oil you have.
Yeah.
So we're going to have 2 tablespoons of oil, but we'll probably end up using a bit more than that. Okay, so with the hand, and this is where the bucket comes in handy, we're just going to mix like that. Getting every little bit, even the bits on the side. There's a bit of flour on the side. We're working that down. So what we're trying to do is fold it over, push it in on itself, and move it like that. And what we're doing there is we're putting that gap there that's air, and we fold it over and move it. We're actually trapping in air, and we're pushing air all the way through it. So I'm just going to take the littlest bit of flour here and put it in. And so at this stage, a lot of it is just about feel. Now look how that dough, just with that tiniest little sprinkling of flour, see how that dough's changed now? And we do this for a long time. We really want to get this dough well made.
How long do you do this for?
I count just till it feels right. So
if you haven't made it before, how do you know?
Yeah, probably do this for a good few minutes.
Alright.
So if you haven't made it before, what we're looking for is a dough that we can do that. Now keep an eye how big this dough is now. What that would be about the size of a fist.
Oh, a bit bigger than that.
A bit bigger than that. So that's what we want. We want something that we can smushed together at the moment. Alright, so let's call that it. We'll get these all bits off my fingers. Maybe a couple more, just to be sure. Alright, so that's in the middle there. Keep an eye how big that is. Now we'll come back to that in a few hours. 3 hours. Hopefully what we've just done there, that ball that's a bit bigger than a fist in the middle of our bucket there, will actually double or triple in size. Around here we've got some zucchini.
Straight from Mel's garden, who's one of the youth-based workers.
We've got some potato here.
Not from Mel's garden.
Not from Mel's garden. We're going to put, so the pizza that we're going to make is potato, zucchini.
Well, I was thinking maybe potato, olives, and rosemary.
Yep, have we got olives? We've got that.
I think so.
Yep.
And then we'll do like a veggie one.
So the really cool thing about pizza is you can put your leftovers on it. So just say you had spaghetti bolognese the night before. Bit of tomato paste left over, bit of that spaghetti bolognese still left over. On the pizza base, shredded cheese on top, bit of gourmet pizza.
Yeah.
But whatever you want to have, it is a matter of experimentation. There is no such thing as bad pizza. Well,
not if you're making it yourself.
Alright, so see you in 3 hours.
Bye!
So we take a bit of flour, a bit of a sprinkling, just so it doesn't stick, and we pour it out. Alright, so did it get bigger? Didn't it? Let's find out.
Ooh. Yes, it
So quite a bit bigger. Probably a double, triple in size from what it was.
It's tripled, I reckon.
So, there we go.
Nice.
Alright, so what we're going to do with this is get it nicely coated, all sides with flour. And you might have noticed that since I've been doing this, now it's squished back down to where it was before. Just like that, just moving it around. And what we're going to do with this bowl, once we finish, we're just going to put it on a chopping board and just let it sit, just to have another little rise by itself. So there, just going to sit like this. Like that. And we're back in half an hour. They've both got quite a bit bigger. So they probably doubled in size from where they were before.
Yeah.
What we're going to do now is we have some trusty old pizza trays. I probably bought these 5-10 years ago.
Hang on. Hi, Amelia.
So we want something that will be about the size of this.
Alright. Yep.
I find if you make the pizza dough too thick, it's a bit like trying to eat bread.
So you're going for a thin crust.
Now for a thin crust, and here we go.
Well, there you go. Amelia agrees.
So that's the first base.
What kind of temperature do you put your oven on?
I like about 180, just till it looks right. And when you can get, say, a butter knife or a little spatula and just underneath and look that it's cooked underneath, that's what you're looking for. Alright, so what I've got here is tomato paste. Just a cheap brand, just what these are about 50, 60,
70 cents.
80 cents.
Yeah, somewhere between that.
So that comes off. Tablespoon. Spread him around. So there we go. We've got that nicely sauced. And we've got some
Leftover?
Yep.
So that can go in a container for later.
Yep, they can go in a container for later.
I might use that with something else cooking this week.
Yep. Now, it must be said, we're doing vegan pizza here.
Yep.
I'm a vegan, so I'm going to make vegan pizza. You may not be a vegan. So if you're not a vegan, you would use like mozzarella cheese, or you would use something like that, or you would use
whatever cheese is in the
tasty
house.
cheese in the house, or even if you've got the craft singles or no-name singles, try those out. But what we've got here, we've got some zucchini
From Mel's garden.
from Mel's garden.
Thanks,
that
Mel.
we've fried up. So we're just going to lay this out in a nice pattern. Just something that looks pretty. And bearing in mind that we'll cut this in slices.
So you're going to do it so each slice has a piece.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's one of the best things about cooking. It's tastier than anything that you'll ever get at a restaurant when it works out well. When it works out crap, it's the worst thing ever. We're going to chuck on some of this fake ham stuff. We're going to put this in a different...
You guys can put real ham if you want, but
Yeah,
this is our kind.
Yeah, I reckon that's enough.
Cool.
Yeah, so we're going to put some pineapple on.
I got fresh pineapple too.
Got fresh pineapple. They have pineapples cheap at the supermarket. But you can just use canned pineapple pieces or something like that.
So I used this pineapple for another meal last night,
Yep.
so may as well use it up.
Yeah. Now that's the thing. You know, if you're doing your own pizza with proper cheese, just bear in mind that too much, like heaped up, it's all got to go somewhere. And real cheese has a lot of oil in it, so you'll just end up with this oily sort of mess.
Yeah.
So you got to give it, I suppose, a chance to breathe.
Be sparse.
Be sparse. Garlic, as we have it here, sliced up, or you can smush it if you've got a garlic press, something like that. So what we've got here is some leftover potatoes
Yep.
that have been cut up. So we're just going to line these up. The versions that I've done before, I haven't had any cheese on them at all. But I think tonight we've got a little bit of cheese left over.
Can you do half then?
We'll do half.
Yep. I don't want cheese.
Alright, so we've got this garlic. Alright, so we've got some olives here. I've gone over these olives and they were pitted olives, but I've given them a chop as well, just to make sure that there's no pits in there. Not a good thing when you're eating your olive and there's a seed still in it.
Yeah. You chomp down, break a tooth. No.
Come down and break it.
Not
So
a good plan.
Just going to move that around. Like that. The olives just give it a really nice salty taste. And we've got some rosemary. We've got some dried rosemary here.
Because we've got no fresh. I couldn't find any anywhere, so dried is good. Dried will work. If you've got a neighbour with some like good herb garden or something, you know, go and ask. You only need a sprig of rosemary and just pull it apart. It's great.
But at the moment,
That's what we got.
and we can't go to our neighbour across the road.
No, not at the moment.
So we've got this left over that we're going to go half and half with. There we go. And once again, we're going to give it a bit of a seasoning. And because of the saltiness of the olives, I probably won't use salt as well. Alright, so the oven's just preheating at the moment. Always preheat your oven before you bake a cake or make pizza or make bread or whatever you're going to do with your oven. Because if you have to leave something in the oven for say 30 minutes at 180 and you whack it in at straight on when you turn the oven on, it's not at 180. It's just got to kind of get to that temperature and your thing hasn't cooked properly, and that's where you do a lot of that stuffing around in and out. Most ovens have a little light like this one. Now I know that oven will be ready when it goes quick, and I'll hear it kind of just click off and they'll be ready to go. So we'll put it in when we're ready to go. Alright, so you can use a pizza wheel or one of these, which is a specific pizza slicer thing, like that, just across Just doing as many as you want. As you see, that's coming in. That was about 20 minutes, just under. So this is the other pizza, just to give you an idea. So while I've taken that one out, I've just taken this one out too. Take a look at that.
Nice.
Nicely done. All right, so that's about making pizza. Any questions, get in contact with myself through the Latrobe Youth Space Facebook page, anything like that. Remember, anything going on at the moment, get in contact with the team at Latrobe Youth Space. This thing will be over one day and everything will go back to normal. But until then, happy pizza eating.